Sound of a bus engine humming, distant city sounds. It was way past midnight. One of those nights where the city finally starts to fall asleep. The last bus, number 44, was pulling out of the terminal. The air inside was stale, a mix of old vinyl and rain from a week ago. There were only 4 people left on board, scattered like forgotten chess pieces. Up front, the driver, a guy who looked like he'd seen one too many long nights. Further back, an old man, head slumped against the window, his breath fogging up the glass. Then there was a young woman, maybe a college student, her face lit up by the blue glow of her phone, knuckles white as she clutched it. And in the middle, a schoolboy, probably no older than 10, his backpack serving as a pillow as he drifted in and out of sleep. Just a normal, quiet, late-night ride, or so it seemed. The bus rumbled on, making its usual stops at empty street corners. First stop, no one. Second stop, no one. But at the third stop, the doors hissed open and someone got on. She was strange, a woman, pale as a bone, dressed entirely in white. Her long, dark hair was dripping wet, as if she'd just walked through a downpour. But it wasn't raining, not a single drop. The driver watched her in his mirror, a little frown creasing his forehead. That's weird, he mumbled to himself. Hasn't rained all night. The woman didn't say a word. She didn't pay. She didn't even look at the driver. She just glided, silent as a shadow, to the very last seat at the back of the bus. The doors closed, and the bus lurched forward, leaving the city lights behind and plunging into the dark, winding country roads. And that's when the atmosphere inside started to change. It got heavy cold. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and you just know something is wrong? It was like that. Then the lights inside the bus began to flicker, and with every flicker, something impossible happened. The woman in white, she was moving, but not walking. The lights went out for a split second, and when they came back on, she wasn't in the back seat anymore. She was 3 rows closer. The old man was still asleep. The boy was still dozing. Only the driver and the young woman with the phone noticed. Their eyes met in the rearview mirror, wide with confusion. The lights flickered again, this time for a little longer. Darkness, and then light. She was now sitting directly behind the young woman, so close. Her wet hair was almost touching the back of her seat. The driver's hands were sweating on the wheel. This wasn't right. He cleared his throat, his voice shaking a little as he called out, "Ma'am? Ma'am, do you have a ticket? I need to see your ticket." Silence. The only reply was a soft rhythmic sound. Drip, drip, drip. Water pooling on the floor beneath her seat. The young woman couldn't take it anymore. The feeling of being watched was suffocating. Slowly, so slowly, she turned around, and she froze. The woman's face was inches from hers, but it was her eyes. They were just black, completely black. 2 empty, soulless voids staring right through her. The young woman didn't even have time to scream. The driver saw her expression in the mirror, saw the pure terror, and he slammed on the brakes. The bus screeched apart, throwing everyone forward. And in that exact moment, the lights went out completely, plunging them into absolute pitch-black darkness. A few seconds later, the emergency lights flickered on, casting a weak orange glow through the bus. It was empty. The old man, the schoolboy, the young woman. They were all gone. Vanished just the driver, alone, his heart hammering against his ribs, trembling behind the wheel. And then, a whisper. It seemed to come from all around him, echoing down the empty aisle. A cold, soft voice that said, "You shouldn't have stopped the bus." His blood ran cold. He forced himself to look up, to glance at the rearview mirror. And he saw her. She wasn't at the back anymore. She was sitting in the front passenger seat, right behind him. So close he could feel the chilling cold radiating from her. The next morning, a state trooper found the bus. It was parked right at the edge of a cliff overlooking the old quarry. The engine was off. The doors were closed, locked from the inside, and there was no one on board. The only sign that anyone had been there at all was a single set of wet footprints leading from the driver's side door, away from the bus and disappearing into the thick morning fog.